Hello and good morning, students. Welcome back to the class. As you know that we had started our second chapter of economics, and we are in continuation, or we are discussing this chapter from the previous two classes. So here today we will continue with the same chapter, and we will discuss some other part of this chapter. In the previous classes we had discussed about the different economic activities where people engage to earn their livelihood, whereas we had discussed how many sectors of economy are there on different bases. We had discussed about the classification of economic sector, and along with this we had discussed also the comparison among the three different sector of economics, प्राइमरी सेकेंडरी एंड टर्शरी सेक्टर, तीनों सेक्टर में ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ प्रोडक्शन हमने कंपैरिजन किया था दैट विच सेक्टर इज प्रोड्यूसिंग मोर एंड विच इज़ कंट्रीब्यूटिंग मोर इनटू द जीडीपी ऑफ द नेशन. So till now we had discussed a lot about this chapter, and without wasting the time we are going to start today's class. But before starting the class, let me tell you what are the objectives of today's class. Today we will discuss about, again it's a comparison among the three different sectors of economy, but not on the basis of production. Today we will discuss, or we will compare these three sectors on the basis of involvement of the people in these sector, how many people are working in different sectors of economy. So it is about comparison on the basis of employment, which sector having more working population, where people are engaged more in which sector, right? So without wasting our time, I'm going to continue the class for today. As we had observed that nowadays, or in the present time, the importance of tertiary sector is continuously increasing day by day, or this sector is producing more in comparison of the secondary and primary sector. And the situation were not similar at the टाइम ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस, और आई शुड से द अर्ली इंडिपेंडेंस एरा. पहले के टाइम पर प्राइमरी सेक्टर ज़्यादा प्रोड्यूस किया करता था, बट आज की डेट में हमने देखा, कंपेयर किया कि टर्शरी सेक्टर इज प्रोड्यूसिंग मोर. So on the basis of production we discuss, we observed, or we can conclude that which sector is contributing or which sector is producing more. Today we are going to discuss where are most of the people employed. So the question is, in which sector people are working more? That what we can easily understand with help of this flow chart. It will be easy to understand that which sector having more working population. So here we have two bar graphs through which we can understand. One is stands for 1970 to 71, and second one is 2009 to 10 का जो डेटाज हैं हम उन्हें कंपेयर करें. सो इफ़ वी टॉक अबाउट द अर्ली इंडिपेंडेंस एरा और the phase of planning in 1970 to 71, the number of people engaged more in the primary sector or agriculture sector, which was about 75%. You can see that this green bar is showing the number of people engaged, or the percentage of people employed in the agriculture sector. Secondly, if we talk about the secondary, in the secondary sector only 20% people were engaged in that sector, or I should say 10% people engaged in that sector. Whereas if we talk about the tertiary sector, hardly 25% people, or 15% people, sorry, not 25, it's 15% people were engaged in the tertiary sector. So 10% in secondary, 15% in tertiary, and 75% people were engaged in the primary sector. So here we can easily understand, if we talk about the year 1970 to 71, it can be said that most of the people were engaged in the primary sector. But what about 2009 or 10? As we had observed in the प्रोडक्शन कंपैरिजन, जहां हमने डिस्कस किया था कि तीनों सेक्टर में से कौन सा सेक्टर बेटर प्रोड्यूस कर पा रहा है, तो आज की डेट में क्या हमने कंसिडर किया था या हमने कंक्लूड किया था? टर्शरी सेक्टर इज प्रोड्यूसिंग मोर, राइट? तो डेफिनेट सी बात है कि अभी इन दिस फेज कुछ लोग एग्रीकल्चर से यहाँ शिफ्ट हुए, तभी इन सेक्टर्स के प्रोडक्शन में इंक्रीमेंट्स देखने को मिला, ठीक है? तो देखते हैं हम इन द ईयर 2009 एंड 10, इन द ईयर 2009 एंड 10 yet the number of people engaged more in primary sector, but in the other two sector, tertiary and secondary, the number of working people increased in comparison of before, right? जहाँ पहले 10% people were engaged in secondary sector, वहाँ अभी 20 to 25% people engaged हैं. और what about tertiary sector? tertiary sector में भी same differences देखने को मिले हैं. हाँ, चेंजेस क्या है कि प्राइमरी सेक्टर में एंगेज्ड जो लोग थे, वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन ऑफ द प्राइमरी सेक्टर reduces, whereas the working population in the tertiary और secondary sector increases. तो इन दोनों में इंक्रीमेंट हुआ है और डिक्रीज कौन सा हुआ है? आपका प्राइमरी सेक्टर. So again now a question arises that people engaged in the agriculture, are they not producing as much as they could? क्या वो उतना प्रोडक्शन नहीं कर पा रहे जितना कि वो कर सकते हैं, या दे आर नॉट वर्किंग एफिशिएंटली इन दिस सेक्टर? क्या हुआ ऐसा कि एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में इतने लोग होने के बावजूद वो प्रोडक्शन बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं दे पाते हैं? बिफोर मूविंग अहेड आई वांट टू शो द फ्लो चार्ट. एक बार उस पर हम कंपेयर करेंगे तो ये समझ में आएगा आपको. देखो इधर, यहाँ हमें क्या दिखाई दे रहा है? दो फ्लो चार्ट्स हैं. यहाँ आपका प्रोडक्शन है और यहाँ एम्प्लॉयमेंट. सो मोर पीपल एंगेज्ड इन एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर, स्टिल दे आर प्रोड्यूसिंग लेस. Here we can easily see that, observe that in the year 2009-10 again people are more engaged in the agriculture sector, but still they are producing a very less amount. So question arises here, people are not producing efficiently, or how much their capacity they are not utilizing it properly? Though it we can easily understand that people are engaged more in agriculture sector, but still problem of unemployment also running in the same sector. But if people are working on the farmland, how they can be said unemployed? So different type of unemployment are there. ज़रूरी नहीं है कि अगर एक वर्कर फार्म लैंड पर वर्क कर रहा है तो हम उसको एम्प्लॉयड ही कहेंगे. इट मे बी अनएम्प्लॉयड ऑल्सो. हाउ? सो जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड इट, लेट्स टेक एन एग्जाम्पल. इट विल बी ईजी टू अंडरस्टैंड with help of this example. Let's take an example. Here I am going to discuss a case of a small farmer named Lakshmi, owning about 2 hectares of unirrigated land, dependent only on rain and growing crops like ज्वार and अरहर. तो एक स्मॉल फार्मर है लक्ष्मी, जिसके पास कितना है फार्म लैंड? ओनली शी owned 2 hectares of small land and which is unirrigated, and she is totally dependent on monsoon or rainfall for the purpose of irrigation. And what she is producing very specific crop, jowar and arhar. All 5 members of her family work in the plot throughout the year. अब देखो, small piece of land, only 2 hectare they own, but number of people who are working on the land is 5. Does it require? So why so? ऐसा क्यों है? They have nowhere else to go for work because they don't have any option to choose. You will see that everyone is working, none remains idle, but in actual fact, their labor effort gets divided. As we can easily understand, people who are working on the small piece of land which is not required, only 2% 3% can work on the same piece of land, but still five people are engaged on the small piece of land. Why so? Because they don't have any option to do. कोई भी खाली नहीं है, लेकिन वो 5 लोग मिलकर जो काम कर रहे हैं उसका इम्पोर्टेंस, जो लेबर एफर्ट है, दैट गेट्स डिवाइडेड. ईच वन इज डूइंग सम वर्क बट नो वन इज फुली एम्प्लॉयड. सब लोग कुछ ना कुछ काम ज़रूर कर रहे हैं लेकिन पूरी तरीके से एम्प्लॉयड नहीं कहा जा सकता उसको. So this is the situation of underemployment. What it's called? Underemployment, where people are apparently working, but all of them are made to work less than their potential. जहाँ पर लोग काम तो कर रहे हैं लेकिन जितनी उनकी कैपेसिटी है, द मैक्सिमम पोटेंशियल दे हैव टू डू, दे आर नॉट यूजिंग, दे आर नॉट पुटिंग देयर फुल एफर्ट्स टू प्रोड्यूस द क्रॉप्स. बिकॉज लेबर एफर्ट गेट्स डिवाइडेड, उनका काम बट गया है. जितना एक पर्सन एफिशिएंटली वर्क कर सकता है वो उतना नहीं कर पा रहा है. सो दिस सिचुएशन इज नॉट डायरेक्टली सेड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, दैट्स वाई इट कॉल्ड अंडर एम्प्लॉयमेंट, बिकॉज दे डोंट हैव एनी ऑप्शन टू चूज. मजबूरी में उनको सेम पीस ऑफ लैंड पे काम करना पड़ रहा है, लेकिन उनके जो एफर्ट्स हैं उससे वो बहुत इफेक्टिवली वर्क नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो ये जो दिस काइंड ऑफ अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट व्हाट वी आर डिस्कसिंग हियर इज कॉल्ड हिडन अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट ऑल्सो, वेयर वी cannot clearly see the unemployment factor, right? So underemployment is hidden in contrast to someone who does not have a job and is clearly visible as unemployed. Hence, it is also called disguised unemployment. Unemployment, disguised unemployment, or underemployment. They are synonymous to each other, right? So, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट में जैसा कि साफ नज़र आता है कि एक पर्सन हु इज़ सिटिंग आइडल, हु इज़ नॉट डूइंग एनी जॉब, कैन बी सेड अनएम्प्लॉयड. बट अ पर्सन हु इज़ engaged in job, still he is not putting his whole efforts. So it should be called underemployment or disguised unemployment or hidden unemployment. Now, supposing a landlord, Sukhram, comes and hires 1 or 2 members of family to work on his land. अब देखो, अगर ऐसा होता है कि एक लैंडलॉर्ड है सुखराम, वो आकर के उस फैमिली where 5 members in the same family, if he hires 2 members of the family to work on his land, so Lakshmi's family is now able to earn some extra income through wages. तो जहाँ अभी 5 लोग किसी एक फार्म लैंड पर काम कर रहे थे, उन्हें उतना नहीं मिल पा रहा था, बट इफ़ दे विल बी पुट टू सम अदर वर्क, they can earn extra income through wages. Since you do not need 5 people to look after that small plot, 2 people moving out does not affect production on their farm. So in the above example, 2 people may move to work in a factory. Once again, the earning of the family would increase and they would also continue to produce as much from their land. So that we could easily understand that if from 5 to 2 peoples we exclude from that farmland, so production on that piece of land would not get affect so much. The work done by the 5 people can easily be done by the 3 also. Yes, once again the earning of the family would increase and they would also continue to produce as much from their land. Even they could now able to earn some extra income by through the wages, right? So there are lack of farmers like Lakshmi in India. This means that even if we remove a lot of people from agriculture sector, and provide them with proper work elsewhere, agriculture production will not suffer, because number of people engaged in these sectors are more than the required. And when the situation comes, it is called disguised unemployment, because we can utilize these human resource in some other sector. We could be able to earn more, we will be able to produce more, but the situation is same in India with lack of farmers who are engaged in the agriculture sector, or who are not able to put their efforts efficiently, or to work efficiently in the agriculture sector. So it not only happens in the agriculture sector, it applies in the other sector also. For an example, there are thousands of casual workers in the service sector in urban area who search for daily employment. They are employed as painters, plumbers, repair persons, and other doing odd jobs. Many of them don't find work every day. Similarly, we see other people of the service sector on the street pushing a cart of selling something, where they may spend the whole day but earn very little. So the situation is not only in the agriculture sector, it is quite similar in the other sector also. So what can be a remedial step for the problem of disguised unemployment, hidden unemployment? So they are doing this work because they don't have better opportunities. तो by creating, अब क्वेश्चन क्या उठता है कि क्यों ऐसा हो रहा है और इसका सोल्यूशन क्या है? क्योंकि उनके पास में ऑप्शन नहीं है, दे आर नॉट गेटिंग जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज. सो बाय प्रोवाइडिंग दैम और क्रिएटिंग मोर employment opportunities, the problem can be sought out. So it can be only solved by creating more employment opportunities. So how to create more employment opportunities, it will be continue in the next class. We will discuss how we can create more opportunities for removing the hidden unemployment, the disguised unemployment, and the other types of unemployment. So it is enough for today's class.